Second hour of the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Brought to you by the Bacon Wrap Shrimp. 10-ounce filet at Shapley's Steakhouse in Ridgeland. Twitter handle at BowBounds. Brought to you by Favorites.com. And the number 601-707-3750. By the way, Circle 7 extended their shirt and jacket sale through today. Some of the shirts 2 for $1. New and current. Cotton Brothers, Gitman Brothers, Filson, Mountain Khakis. All at Circle 7. And they extended their sale through today. We're on the Circle 7 property, 463 Madison. Drew, what's our poll question, man?
What title would you prefer John Cohen to have? Baseball coach or AD? And baseball coach is at 70% right now.
Baseball coach winning big. Wow.
Is that just the unknown of you don't know what he's going to do as AD and you know what he is as a baseball coach?
Yeah, I think so. People are creatures of comfort, especially sports fans. That's how guys are. I've said this before. Usually by the time a guy is 14 or 15 years old, they kind of are who they are as a sports fan. And it's very difficult for guys to look at sport, especially once you're done with high school sports. You have, here's my opinion, here's my theory, here's my take on guys in sports. And so they see Cohen. Oh, by the way, if Cohen was coming off a 31 and 29 season, you'd have a different deal. But Cohen is coming off a super regional and an SEC championship. And they were good. They beat Vandy. They beat Florida. They beat LSU. And they beat Ole Miss in series last year. And he won the SEC championship. Then they won a regional. And they battled with Arizona in a very, very close super regional. So he's coming off a wildly successful super regional. He being John Cohen. Sorry. Let's start. All right. Should have done this. There will be an announcement, 1 o'clock in Starkville today, where John Cohen will be announced as the athletic director at MSU. He led MSU to three super regionals. They lost to Florida in Game 3 in a super regional. They had no business going all the way to Game 3. Florida had 13 guys drafted that week. MSU was a bunch of scrappy, whatever. They go to Virginia and swept them. It didn't go to Game 3. It was just 2 games. And then Arizona beat them in the Super Regional last year. Cohen went to a College World Series where they advanced to the National Championship Series. He's had who all's gone in the first round? Chris Stratton. Renfro, and one more.
Dakota Hudson,
thank you. I was not going to remember that. I don't know why. Jake Mangum was SEC. Wasn't he freshman of the year?
Freshman of the week.
No,
Freshman of the year. Freshman of the year.
I thought he was,
yeah.
But there was one other kid that was right there with him, and I can't remember his name, dadgummit. I just sounded like Bobby Bowden. Jake Mangum comes back along with some other key pieces to that team. Now, granted, they had a bunch of guys drafted too.
Right.
Cohen has sent how many guys did we count the other day that have actually made the big, not the minors, the big leagues? It was
a pretty high number.
Yeah. Graveman,
Stratton, Lindgren.
Yeah, Adam Pyatt. Not Adam Pyatt.
Frazier.
Adam Frazier.
Lindgren.
Bunch of dudes. True.
I believe Holder got a cup of coffee at least.
He definitely got called up.
Holder was called up. That's right. I can't remember if he was injured or not, but he was called up. Renfro was the NL Player of the Week?
The last week of the regular season.
We drove in about 12 runs and 10 innings.
And helped me win a fantasy title.
help Drew win a fantasy
He
title.
only does the important stuff.
What else is Cohen selling? He's selling a new stadium, which I think it's too big.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be beautiful. The amenities are great. I don't think you need this day and age. I don't think you need a stadium that big. It will be great for 2 SEC weekends, Super Bowl all weekend, and if you're hosting regionals or supers. But I think you could scale it down 15% and be just fine, and put even more focus on amenities. So you're selling a brand new stadium. Phase 1's already started. But Cohen will exit without a national title. That surprises. That's the only thing that surprises me. I remember his post-game press conference after losing to UCLA. And, I mean, he was borderline furious that they had not won the title. And he said that they would go back and that they would win it.
He sounded legitimately upset that they did not win a national title. Like that they fell short of their goal.
Oh, I remember. You watched him. He was. You could see how big of a competitor he was. But man, so how did the Clarion Ledger handle the deal?
Botched.
Or was it just that's what they're supposed to do? And as part of the media, if they felt like, some people think that the IHL leaked it, and to Bonner, that's a rumor. How did the Clarion Ledger handle it? Bonner has proven that he's trying to make anything, he's trying to light a fire on any story because he wants to get out of Starkville and wants to do bigger and better things. The other guys in the Clarion Ledger sports department evidently just want a paycheck.
Right.
Who wants to get out of Starkville more, him or Mullen?
Well, Mullen, all right, let's go to that. Cohen could have to,
I didn't mean to completely pivot there, but
well, that's okay.
I'm not sure why Cohen would leave.
Why Cohen would leave?
I'm sorry.
Mullen.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think Cohen's leaving. I think
No.
He may be leaving the baseball office, but he's just going right across the street
I
to
don't
the
know.
Bryan building. Do you think Dan Mullen's willing to take the Kansas or Purdue job?
Purdue. How big? We've discussed before. He wants to live in a metropolitan area. Mm-hmm. How big of a metropolitan area is that?
Oh, West Lafayette?
Yeah.
I don't think it's
not
very.
I don't
it's
think
like
it's very
Starkville
much
or
at all.
Oxford. Isn't it?
I don't
It's
know.
right, I mean, it's not far outside Indianapolis, but it's not.
But he's close. You would be close to Indianapolis and Chicago.
So I mean, still, I can't see that being his destination.
Oh no! I'm not saying it's a destination. He's the rumor on the street is that he would go reboot, win enough to put himself in position
bigger
for a
place.
better job.
I can see him.
He's
in
still a
Boston.
young man.
But could he do that at Boston College?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're getting rid of. I don't know if that's going to be an option with Adazio. Kansas. Ooh.
You don't go to Kansas.
Oh, you do not go to Kansas.
Unless you want to end your career.
Yeah. When you
Why?
have
Who wins there? Mark Mangino?
Mangino was able to go to the Orange Bowl.
But then he got into some trouble after that.
Then
But
what?
They're 1-7. Yeah, but that was with the player. It had nothing to do with his coaching ability.
Purdue's 3.
I'm sorry. I guess that is. You know what I mean. It had nothing to do with wins and losses. He had to brush up physically, allegedly, with the player.
Right. Allegedly.
And boom.
But he only had they had one really breakout season.
Yeah.
Boston College is 4-4.
If he could get to BC, I would assume that he would take off.
Purdue
3-2.
is 3-5.
3-5, yeah.
And Kansas is 1-7.
My thing is, why would he go to the Big? Look, the Big Ten's actually got some coaching now. So, I mean,
You're right. They do.
Lovie Smith's coaching at Illinois.
Easy.
Lovie Smith's a good coach.
Oh, I know. I'm having fun.
Yeah, we've seen him be a very good coach, and I mean, they've got other pretty decent coaches up there.
Oh, Harbaugh, Meyer, Franklin, Paul Christ.
D'Antonio.
DJ Durkin looks like he may do a good job at Maryland.
Yeah,
That's the job, actually, Dan should have taken.
should have taken.
I'm still blown away that Dan didn't take. I said it last year when it was going down. Maryland had Dan and Megan Mullen written all over it. Better K through 12 system for their kids. Metropolitan area.
It's in D.C., isn't it?
It's out.
It's like 10 miles outside of D.C.
Yeah, College Park, Maryland. I've been there. You're in the Mid-Atlantic region around a bunch of prospects. The level of K-12 schooling compared to ours is through the roof. I hate to say that. We've come a long way. We're doing very well. There's a lot going on. There's some good stuff going on. I can't believe Mullen, if he was there, and DJ Durkin at that time was a coordinator for Michigan, surprised Mullen didn't go get that job. But he thought he had Miami,
right?
According to people in the know, until Georgia decided to hammer Mark Richt, and Mullen didn't know that was going to happen. Or whatever. Let's go to the phones. And Matt, what do you have for us today?
Bo, so you're telling me that Mississippi State is going to take a very good baseball coach and make him an average AD. I mean, that just sounds like a loss, but that's a topic for another day, I guess. I mean, I see that all the time with administrators in education. You take a great teacher and you make them into a crappy principal. I mean, that's the problem with our school systems as it is. So I guess it doesn't just happen there. So who has LSU beaten?
Nobody. Well,
I mean,
Ole Miss and
Missouri
Mississippi State.
and Ole Miss, which are the two worst defenses in the country. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean, that's rush defense. They are the worst.
Right.
And then what was the score of that USM game late in the third quarter?
That's a lot closer.
It was 10-10.
And then they went on a 28-0 run.
Well,
it was.
Why is that? Because
new staff
USM ran out of gas. Do you think Alabama's going to run out of gas?
I think LSU's going to win.
No, I'll tell you what you need to do. Go be the athletic director at Mississippi State, because with that statement, you might be as qualified as the guy they just hired. See you, man.
Thanks for the call.
I see where he's going there, but I don't think you can draw the same parallel as teachers going to principals.
No, I don't either.
It's a whole different thing.
Cohen, I don't mean this mean, but Cohen has proven that he's won SEC championships and been in the national championship. This guy is so decorated. It's ridiculous.
Isn't Gator Matt's team that they don't have very many quality wins?
They don't have any quality wins.
I mean,
hey, Kentucky may be a big.
I mean, this is
you're
pot.
talking about the SEC champion almost.
This is pot meeting kettle right here.
You're talking about the SEC champion, Kentucky Wildcats.
SEC
the East champion. Sorry,
I don't know if Florida's going to survive Fayetteville this weekend.
I don't think they are.
I think Austin Allen
could shred them.
Did you hear Jim McElwain's quote? He said none of his players been to Arkansas. Makes it sound like they're going to a foreign country or something.
Hey, Fayetteville's a different animal.
Yeah, I was about to say it is a foreign country essentially.
It is a different animal. And Bielema they're like really good every third game. I don't know what it is, but you catch them every third game, and they will whip you like a rented mule. Ask Ole Miss and LSU the last few years. So this, to me, sets up for the Razorbacks to win and beat Florida.
One step closer, Kentucky winning the East.
Bam.
Oh, yeah. So,
that's embarrassing.
You're talking about win, beat Florida, then
I got to
carry
see
that momentum.
Kentucky in person. They're awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
That team that you saw them play,
now,
way worse.
I still don't know what Dan Mullen was doing on the offensive side of the football in that game. I don't know how you call a game against Kentucky and you don't get a first down in the first quarter. That is hard.
Like you have to try to do that.
To do when you have Fred Ross, Malik Deer, and Nick Fitzgerald. That is hard. You almost have to say, guys, I want you to stumble and fall down every time you get the ball. We'll go to James. James, what do you have for me this morning? What's up?
Good morning. I was just wanting to talk about the John Cohen possible hire.
Sure.
I think Cohen will do an excellent job. He's a very cerebral guy. My only concern as a Mississippi State fan is I'm not so sure he'll be able to let go of the reins over the baseball program. When you've been coaching for 37 years, it's kind of tough not to give that new guy coming in advice and overboard advice and kind of tell him how to run the program. But if John can kind of keep that fine line, I think he'll do an excellent job.
Boy, that's a great point. That's a great tease. We'll go with that. That's one of the best calls we've had. Thank you, James. Cohen, I'll leave you with this. Cohen knows what Pat McMahon went through taking over for Ron Polk. You're listening to the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 1059 The Zone. Brought to you by Went McGee at Affordable Lending Group. Call Went McGee today. They will shop the best rates for you at Affordable Lending Group. Went McGee is the mortgage man. 1% down conventional programs, 100% loans, VA and USDA. Best rates and customer service in the business. Call Went McGee today at 601-906-7074.